Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek, and this is the second episode in my off-season training, actually what I'm going to be doing this month in my off-season training. The first episode I have filmed, but I haven't processed yet, so that's going to be coming out soon. Each episode is going to focus on different aspects of my training this month. And this aspect, as you can see, is Zwift racing. And so you may be asking yourself, this is the off-season, why are you doing Zwift racing? Well, primary reason is I am old. I am 67, so I can't let my upper end wane. Also, doing upper intensity work is one of the 4 pillars of quality functional longevity that I'll be talking about in a future video. Speaking of being old, that's one of the reasons I thought I was going to have a hard time in this race. I was going to either get dropped at the beginning or get dropped in the middle somewhere. Not only that, yesterday after work, I did this, and this, and that, and this. So yes, I was quite dubious as to how I'd be doing today. This is a short race, about 9 miles. The other race that I do during the weekend is much longer, but I'll have a separate video on that. It's a little bit different. But talk about different, this is a different race. This is a hounds and hares race. So they have the D's take off at a certain point, and then the C's take off about a minute behind them. The B's, the category that I'm in, takes off after them about a minute, and a minute later the A's take off. Today there aren't any A's. So what we're supposed to do as B's is work together and catch the C's, and then if we catch them, work together still and catch the D's, and then we race each other. The category C's are supposed to work together to catch the D's while staying away from the B's. The D's in turn are supposed to get to the finish line before the rest of us so they can race each other. After my old guy excuses I gave earlier, you can see I'm still with the group here. And that's because I was pleasantly surprised to see that everyone didn't take off like a bat out of hell, and I thought for a short race that they would. So the next thing on my mind is, am I going to be able to survive to the end with these guys? While everyone else, I would assume most everyone else was working to try and catch the group in front of us, I was just in there to survive, and so I was just trying to keep myself in good position, keep myself on the pack, just so I can get a little bit of draft. I figure I'm not only the oldest guy here, but I'm the oldest guy by far. If there's anybody here that's older than 67 or close to it, let me know. Jumping ahead to 7.5 miles to go. Turn your attention to the upper right-hand corner, that little map inset. You can see that we're starting to pick up riders that have fallen off from the C's category. This is like chum to a group of sharks. Now, I'm not including myself as a shark. I am doing what I can to survive. I am doing a version of what I call riding the fine line between aerobic and anaerobic death. My muscles are still feeling it from obviously from the workout yesterday. They therefore get bogged down a lot quicker than they ordinarily would, so then I have to go to an easier gear. But when I go to an easier gear, I have to at least produce the same amount of power spinning faster, and that taxes my aerobic system. And you know, that's pretty taxed too at this point, especially with this group. So I go back and forth and hope I can survive till the end. Jumping to a mile to go, we have caught the D's and they've been dropped, and we've caught the C's, and some of them are still with us. I'm still with us. Now, ordinarily I can't sprint, and so what I do is I take off well before the others start sprinting in hopes of being able to get to the finish line before they do, or at least to get a higher placing. As well as you can imagine, at 67, that's as close as one can get to a pipe dream. Still, that's all I have to work with, and so that's what I'm going to work with. My legs have that feeling of, I am weak, but am I too weak to do anything? And I don't know the answer to that at this point. Ordinarily, I'd be taking off at maybe a kilometer to go, but that'd be far away at this point because this group is pretty darn strong, so now I'm thinking about 0.4 mile to go. My plan is to line myself up toward the back, then make a run getting some draft as I go through these guys. It's now about a kilometer to go. Ordinarily, this is where I'd be thinking about it, but I know I'm pretty weak right now. I went a little too far off the back and I lost draft, so I had to go like 350 watts just to catch it back up to them. So the end's coming near. We're about a half mile away. This would be a great time to jump, but I just don't have confidence. I'm going pretty fast and everyone's going pretty fast. And I don't have a lot of extra speed to go, but I'm now doing it. I'm pushing over 350 again, or at least trying to hit 350, and I'm not making any movement at all in this pack. Everyone's going fast. Everyone has maybe the same idea, or they're just a lot stronger than I thought they were. So now I'm just trying to hang on and try and get whatever placing I can get. I'm not looking at any of the data. I'm just looking down, just trying to push as hard as I can. And when I finally do look up, it's about 0.2 miles to go. Still pushing. Now I'm gone below 300 watts and pretty much I've run out of gas. So I'm now looking at the little insert, seeing how many people are behind me. Still trying to go. There we go, 300 plus. That's only just for a couple seconds. It's measuring now in feet, and some people passed me at the end. So as it turns out, out of the 33 starters for the category Bs, I finished 20th out of the 25 finishers. Just that I finished with the front group, I consider it a win for me. All right, remember, when you're old, you gotta keep working on that upper end. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.